Today we're here with Aina.
Hi!
And we are talking about how to create intimacy in your photos because it's probably not what you think. All right, Aina, you ready to shoot?
Sure.
Let's go. Alright, so the first most important thing to understand about shooting intimacy is that you need to redefine what intimacy is. Intimacy is not physical closeness or physical exposure, it's all about emotion. And expressing that emotion through your imagery, through posing, through composition, even through things like lens choice and distance from your model. A lot of the time for me, I like to shoot intimacy with natural light because it feels a lot more human than using artificial light, which feels a bit more fabricated and less human connection. So we're gonna start the shoot with Aina right here by this gorgeous front door. And again, it's not about being super close to her like this. It's actually about letting her breathe in this space and live and exist in this space using all of this beautiful natural light that we have coming to the window. So let's shoot that. Alright, let's talk about why most people feel distant in photos and not intimately close. It's because distance is not physical, it's emotional. And you can feel that a lot, especially with the posing. If the pose is too structured or too formal, then the distance between you, the viewer, and the subject in a photograph is really big because you don't have that emotional connection with them. But if the pose feels really natural, again, really human, and therefore really intimate, the distance between you, the viewer, and them, the subject, is really, really, really close. So when it comes to creating intimacy in your photos, you want to eliminate all the structured editorial commercial level posing, and you want to introduce more human movements, more casual, everyday human movements into your poses. And so in this example here, we have Aina in this, again, beautiful frame with gorgeous daylight beaming through, and instead of her just posing in a very epic editorial way, we're gonna actually have her with this journal and a pen writing her daily notes just as she would living in this beautiful finca. And on top of that, we're actually, this is an extra pro layer to this whole photograph, we're gonna also shoot with this chair right here in the foreground of the shot. You can't even tell it's a chair in the final picture, but shooting through the chair towards Aina is gonna create a really, again, intimate frame that will eliminate the distance between you, the viewer, and her, the model. Alright, the third thing you want to consider is that intimacy begins before you even take the picture. And what I mean by that is when you're shooting with a model on set, you want to create a connection and build rapport with that model before you ever press the shutter button. So spend time actually getting to know them, connecting with them. Even simple practices like having a conversation for 10-15 minutes before you start to shoot can really help to break the ice and ease the tension for them when they're posing and in front of the camera, which will then translate to the final images. So I love to do things like eye connection. I know it might seem silly or obvious, but connecting your eyes with their eyes more often will help to ease the tension over the span of the entire shoot, allowing them the freedom and letting them know before you start to shoot that this shoot is very fluid, very flexible, and that there's not going to be any really strict posing involved. It's all about fluidity and keeping that movement alive. And also just being a really natural and normal person yourself. Don't be weird, don't be awkward, just be a normal person that is nice and comforting and therefore helping to cultivate a comfortable environment. So in this shot here, we're actually in the bedroom and we're shooting Aina against this, it's very dark in here, I apologize, but against this beautiful backdrop. And what I would tell her to do right out the gate is to just stand there and drop her shoulders and just relax. Exactly, just like that. Because naturally, when you're meeting someone for the first time, you are probably going to be a little bit stiff and very like upright and straight and like a bit rigid. But that's not the vibe we're trying to give off when we're trying to show intimacy in our pictures. And so I would tell every model to just stand there, drop their shoulders, relax, maybe even do a few jiggles like this to help them really get comfortable into the space. And the roosters are back for another shoot. All right, let's talk about direction when you're actually doing a shoot where you want to create intimacy. Well, basically, you don't want to over-direct. You want to direct in the most minimal way possible because you want to create that very free, flowing, and relaxed atmosphere for the model and therefore for the picture. So now Aina's got her jacket on because it's cold at the moment, but she will be taking it off for the pictures. But if I tell her to, make sure that she's standing up straight and her chin is like facing a certain way and she has to freeze her hand in a certain place, all these things, that's not really good at all. That's over direction. But if I just tell her, imagine it's a beautiful, warm, sunny day and she is just existing by the pool, quaffing her hair back, enjoying the beautiful sun, that is really good direction and that is much more preferred. So all in all, we want to make sure we're not over directing our models ever when it comes to creating intimacy in your pictures. Direct less and just exist more. All right, and the last part is to think about your composition intentionally. And what I mean by that is with creating intimacy in your photos, a lot of the time the composition is not going to be a fastball down the middle straight on pose. What it will be though is more of a sense of you, the viewer, getting a peek into this person's world, into their surroundings, into their environment, and into their life. And so think about what that would look like from a compositional standpoint. Now in this example, we have Aina on this beautiful couch right here in the living room, and here we have a gorgeous window. Now I could just shoot this picture from right here like that and have Aina sitting on the couch and that would look totally fine. It would look more basic, if you will, but what could be more interesting is if I go outside in the pouring rain and shoot from outside the window frame, shooting through the window frame and getting the same shot of Aina that way, including the frame in the shot. Compositionally, it seems a bit more like I'm peering into Aina's life, her surroundings, and therefore creating a more intimate feeling for the picture. And that is how you create intimacy in your photos. Aina, thank you so much for shooting today.
Of course, thank you.
Make sure you guys go give Aina a follow over on Instagram. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below to this video and leave a comment on what you want to see more of on this channel. But until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Love. Love.